Picture over 7,600 islands scattered like jewels across the Pacific. Think you know the Philippines? Beyond its famous beaches lies surreal beauty, often untouched by time. Ready to discover the most jaw-dropping natural wonders this island paradise offers? Let's start underground. Because in Palawan, rivers refuse to follow rules. The Puerto Princesa subterranean river doesn't just flow, it dives 8.2 kilometers through a mountain, emptying into the sea. UNESCO calls it one of the new 7 wonders of nature, and those cathedral-high limestone walls show why. Paddle inside and your voice will echo off stalactites that took millions of years. Outside, long-tailed macaques and monitor lizards patrol the beach like relaxed security guards. No filter needed. The river glows under flashlight like liquid jade. See just one underground river? Make it this one. Next, we sail 150 kilometers off Palawan to where the ocean feels alive. Tubataha Reefs Natural Park is a marine sanctuary so pristine, it's basically the aquarium of the gods. Over 600 fish species and 360 coral species cram into these coral walls, making every dive feel like rush hour traffic. Except everyone's colorful and no one's honking. Drop in at 6 a.m. and you might cruise alongside whale sharks, hammerheads, and turtles who act like they own the place. Because, honestly, they do. The reef sits in the Coral Triangle, the underwater equivalent of the Amazon, so every fin kick reveals something biologists still can't name. No beaches, no resorts, just a lone ranger station perched on the reef. That isolation keeps the coral intact and the wow factor cranked to 11. Now we climb 1,500 meters above sea level where the Ifugao people carved stairs to the sky. The Banawe rice terraces, 2,000 years old, built entirely by hand, stretch 14,000 miles end to end, longer than the U.S. coastline. When sunrise hits, paddies mirror clouds so perfectly, you'll wonder which way is up. Farmers still plant traditional Tinawan rice. They aren't a museum, they're a living, breathing pantry. Stand on the ridge and the only soundtrack is wind and the occasional carabao grunt. UNESCO lists them as a cultural landscape, but most travelers just call them the 8th wonder of the world. No elevators, no guardrails, just raw engineering that would make modern architects blush. Jump south to Bohol, and the earth looks like a giant box of truffles. Over 1,200 haystack-shaped hills roll across 50 square kilometers, turning cocoa brown in the dry season, hence the name. Geologists argue whether they're uplifted coral or ancient volcanic popcorn. Either way, they're uniquely Filipino. Climb the 214 steps to the viewing deck, and the hills blur into a curve of khaki domes that feels almost lunar. Legend says 2 giants hurled rocks at each other until they became friends. The leftovers are these hills. Science prefers erosion, but legends taste sweeter, just like the hills look. Golden hour hues bathe the landscape. Haze softens distant domes. If volcanoes entered beauty pageants, Mayon would win Miss Universe every year. Towering 2,462 meters over Albay Province, its cone is so geometrically perfect, engineers use it as a textbook slope. Don't let the postcard look fool you. Mayon has erupted about 50 times in 500 years, most recently in 2020. That danger adds spice. Farmers still plant laying on its fertile skirts, and adventure shops rent ATVs so you can bounce across lava beds while glancing up at the plume. Sunrise paints the summit blush pink, and if lucky, a single lenticular cloud crowns the peak like a sideways beret. Gorgeous, deadly, unmistakably Philippine. Think Russian nesting dolls, but geology. On Luzon sits Taal Lake. In the middle of that lake rises Volcano Island. Inside that island lies a smaller lake, and in that lake pokes Vulcan Point. An island. In a lake. On an island. In a lake. On an island. Confused? It's the world's most compact volcano complex. Taal is the smallest active volcano on Earth, yet its 2020 steam-driven explosion reminded everyone that small doesn't mean shy. Hike 45 minutes from the shore and you'll stand on the rim staring down at the copper-green crater lake, still burping sulfur. Tagaytay Ridge cafes sell Halo Halo while you watch the steam column drift. It's geological multitasking at its finest. Mindanao hides a river so blue it looks photoshopped. Locals named it Enchanted because the water seems to run backward at dusk, its true bottom never found. Sapphire springs well up from 80-meter deep limestone chambers, graduating from turquoise to cobalt. Swimming is now limited to preserve the ecosystem, but feeding sessions at noon draw massive schools of milkfish that swirl like silver cyclones. Stand on the wooden platform, toss tiny shrimp, and watch the river erupt in synchronized fish acrobatics. Myth claims spirits guard the source. Scientists blame underground caves. Either way, you'll leave under a spell. Forget traffic jams. The world's second largest contiguous coral reef is practically empty. Apo Reef in Occidental Mindoro covers 34 square kilometers of coral wilderness, split by narrow channels, looking like blue highways. Descend and you'll likely meet white-tip reef sharks napping on sandy ledges, manta rays barrel rolling overhead, and neon-bright nudibranchs smaller than your pinky nail. The reef's isolation means walls drop to 80 meters with visibility that feels like liquid air. Because it's a tentative UNESCO site, you might share the dive boat with only a handful of other travelers. Translation: unlimited ocean real estate for every marine life short of mermaids. Bundle up, because the Philippines' third highest peak dips to freezing. Mount Pulag's mossy forest looks straight out of a Studio Ghibli film. Ancient tree trunks wrapped in fuzzy lichen, tiny rhododendrons blooming in pastels, and dwarf bamboo bending under cloud mist. Start hiking at 1 a.m. and reach the summit by dawn for the famous Sea of Clouds, where cotton-white billows hide the lowlands and only neighboring peaks poke through like islands. If you're super lucky, the bushy-tailed cloud rat might photobomb your selfie. The mountain is sacred to indigenous Ibaloy and Kalanguya communities, so guides perform rituals before each climb. Respect plus altitude equals perspective. Coron's landscape looks like a limestone jawbreaker, but Barracuda Lake takes weird to a new level. Thermoclines here layer fresh water on top, salt water below, and temperatures swing from 28 degrees to 38 degrees as you descend. The lake's limestone walls funnel down into an underwater canyon where a lone barracuda skeleton was once found, hence the name. Slip on a mask and you'll feel like you're flying through liquid glass, the silence broken only by your own bubbles. Freedivers glide along thermocline halos shimmering like liquid mirrors. It's part spa, part space travel, 100% bucket list. Imagine a cliffside garden hose cranked to full blast, multiplied by 1,000. Asik Falls in Alamada, North Cotabato, bursts straight out of a green mountain wall. No visible river above, just an endless curtain of white thread splashing into a mossy basin. Local hikers discovered it only in 2010, so it's still a whispered secret among Mindanao backpackers. The 45-minute motorbike ride plus 2-kilometer trek keeps crowds thin. You can sit on a boulder, feel the mist freckle your face, and listen to water drumming like nature's lo-fi playlist. Bring a poncho, the spray soaks everything within 10 meters. You can sit on a boulder, feel the mist freckle your face. Cebu's southwest coast hides a 3-tier waterfall, looking like Gatorade commercial meets jungle paradise. Kawasan's turquoise pools get their color from dissolved limestone, turning the water the shade of a swimming pool crayon. Canyoneering tours start upstream. Scramble over rocks, leap 3-meter cliffs, then optional 12-meter jumps if your courage meter still reads full. The final cascade drops 40 meters into a wide basin where bamboo rafts let you glide directly under the hammering falls for a natural shoulder massage. Vendors sell buko juice for a pop, so you can rehydrate with coconut while your adrenal glands cool down. Which of these wonders just rocketed to the top of your must-see list? Drop the number in the comments. Underground River gets a 1, Tubataha a 2, and tell us why. Hit like if Mayon's perfect cone stole your heart, and subscribe for more wild rides through the Philippines. So there you have it. From rivers that run beneath mountains to reefs that outshine neon signs, the Philippines proves you don't need Photoshop when Earth already has the saturation slider maxed. Whether you're diving into thermoclines, trekking 2,000-year-old staircases, or simply watching chocolate hills turn brown, every island delivers a masterclass in natural showmanship. Pack light, bring curiosity, and let the archipelago do the jaw-dropping for you. Your camera roll and your soul will thank you.